Luke, how are we doing? Okay. Okay. And good evening. Thanks for streaming with us. We really appreciate it. Well, all week long we've had a lot of cloud cover, drizzle in the mornings, afternoon's not too bad. Now it's getting kind of breezy. I think tomorrow is going to be the same way. We're going to start off Saturday with some clouds, some drizzle, maybe even a little bit of a sprinkle here or there, and definitely it's going to be windy. Wouldn't be surprised to see those winds gusting up to 35, maybe even 40 miles per hour for your Saturday. So lots of clouds, a little drizzle, and some wind. All right, temperature outside right now, we're sitting at about 78 this morning. Low is 73, and that's 12 degrees above average. Record low 45, and the record high 97, set back in 1984. All right, here's what you can expect for the rest of the evening. Temperatures in the 70s as we head into the overnight period. Early tomorrow morning, temperatures in the 70s, and you know the drill. We'll get these southerly winds off the Gulf of Mexico, and we have a very strong temperature inversion. These clouds just get locked in place, and then eventually we have drizzle. And I think tomorrow morning we're going to start off with some drizzle. All right, nothing on the radar. Earlier, though, there was quite a bit of thunderstorm activity to the north. Let's say north of a line from around San Saba to Temple, and then northward from there. The cap wasn't nearly as strong, and so big thunderstorms developed this afternoon. Some of those with some large hail, even a few tornadoes reported across north central Texas, up around, let's say, Hill County, I believe, Navarro County, just north of Waco there, between Waco and Dallas-Fort Worth. Those showers and storms, they've dissipated now. All right, temperature 78. We've got 83 still at Uvalde. Look at Del Rio. Del Rio at this hour at 9:30 is still in close to 90 at 89. Hallettsville's coming in at around 80. Let's check those winds. Winds right now, they're not too strong. Out of the southeast at about 10 miles per hour. Pleasanton at 12. Beeville at 15. But tomorrow, I think those winds are definitely going to be on the increase, and they'll be a little gusty. All right, so we've got a stationary boundary just off to the north and west, and that stationary boundary was the focus for some thunderstorm activity between, let's say, well, around San Saba and then north and eastward from there. Those storms have now pushed out of the way. Now, this is really interesting. I want you to see where that line is, and notice over the last couple of hours which direction that stationary frontal boundary is going. It's going in the opposite direction. It's kind of going retro. It's what we call a retrograde, kind of moving back to the west. And really, I mean, you could even call this a dry line, not just a stationary frontal boundary. It's more separating. If anything else, it's not really separating much cooler air. I mean, you can see Midland's at 76, Dallas-Fort Worth 74, we're at 78. So really, I could have put a dry line on there, because if you look at the dew points, take a look at this. I mean, you can really see the difference, and that dry line is retrograding back towards the west. Now, with this, you can definitely tell a difference. Look at the dew point. Dew point in Midland is 22, where that brown shade is, and with us with the flow off of the Gulf of Mexico, our dew point's close to 70. Same thing at Dallas-Fort Worth. So really, that boundary is more of like a dry line, and I think it is going to play a factor tomorrow night in the weather, and I'll tell you how coming up here in just a second. First of all, if you've got a trip planned tomorrow, let's say across the northern portions of the country, it's going to be a lot cooler there. High temperatures in the 40s and 50s. I think here across the state of Texas and most of the South, high temperatures will be in the 80s. And again, tomorrow afternoon, there's going to be some big thunderstorms around Dallas-Fort Worth and also into Oklahoma and portions of Kansas, portions of the Plain States. So here's our setup for tomorrow. Big upper level system in the Rockies. You can kind of see that as it moves out into the plain states as we head into the weekend. We'll have some disturbances coming around the base of that, but just like today, we had a pretty good disturbance this afternoon, but the cap was just way too strong, and that limited any kind of thunderstorm activity. I think that's probably going to be the case tomorrow during the daylight. As we head into the evening, that boundary that I showed you earlier is going to be out to the west, and then finally a part of this upper level system is going to kick across and should spark off some storms, and I think those will move in our direction. But here's the deal. I think as they can move east into a more hostile atmosphere where there's more of a cap, I think these thunderstorms are going to weaken. So out across our western counties, hill country, some of these storms tomorrow night, they could be severe. And I'm talking about all modes of severe weather. Large hail, some winds. Winds are not too strong in the mid-levels, so probably not a big deal. But I think there could be a few isolated tornadoes tomorrow evening, western counties and into the hill country. Thunderstorms should weaken as they move towards Bexar County in the morning Sunday, but I can't rule out that some of those still being pretty strong. Now, if that boundary sets up right on top of us Sunday, that's kind of a long shot, but let's say it does, and we destabilize the atmosphere, we get into the mid-80s again on Sunday, I think there's a fair shot that we could see some strong thunderstorms on Sunday, and some of those could have some large hail as well. Then as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the pattern is going to get kind of messy. And what I mean by messy, there's not really going to be anything to kind of hang your hat on. I doubt we'll see severe storms, but because it's April, they're definitely possible. It's just every day I'm going to give just a 20% chance of thunderstorms. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, I think we'll have a pretty good disturbance coming out of Mexico with a cold frontal boundary, and then Friday I'm going to bump those rain chances up a little bit again on Friday, especially Thursday night and into Friday. So I'm using the graph model here, and it's a high resolution computer model, and I think it's doing a pretty good job. So tomorrow morning, some patchy drizzle, some sprinkles. Lows will be in the low 70s. And then as we head into the afternoon, everything kind of mixes out, sort of like it did today. And we're back to partly cloudy to mostly cloudy in the afternoon. Notice to the south and west, temperatures really warm up. Down around Carrizo Springs, 98. Cotulla at about 96 for a high for tomorrow. And if you're going out to the Fiesta Flambeau Parade, I think partly cloudy and then mostly cloudy, breezy for sure, but I doubt we'll see much precipitation. Now, that boundary that I was talking about will become active late Saturday night into the overnight. And again, some of these thunderstorms are going to be really intense, especially out towards Rock Springs, Bracketville, let's say Lakey. And then notice, once we get closer to sunrise, closer to the early morning hours, they'll probably dissipate, and that's before they reach us. And then if that boundary sets up right on top of a Sunday afternoon, there's a chance. This computer model is not really hinting at that, but there is a chance. Okay, so the Storm Prediction Center has us under a marginal risk, that green area here in Bexar County. And again, out west, Saturday night late into early Sunday morning, notice all the yellow there. That's a slight risk for severe storms, and I think the biggest threat is going to be very large hail and a few tornadoes just to the west of us. And again, the reason we're in the green here in Bexar County is these thunderstorms are going to tend to weaken as they push down to the south and east in the overnight hours. All right, let's take a look at the Fiesta Flambeau Parade. If you're going out there, I think tomorrow evening is going to be a lot like this evening, maybe a few more clouds, so kind of partly cloudy to mostly cloudy, lower 80s to upper 70s, slight chance for a shower, but at this point it looks pretty slight until we get into the overnight. So tomorrow, if you've got something planned, maybe you're going to the Pooch Parade, whatever you're doing, I think drizzle in the morning, mostly cloudy and windy, high at about 85. 50-50 shot of seeing those storms working in Sunday morning, and then a 40% chance of afternoon thunderstorms Sunday, high 82. And then again, I'm just going to put a 20% chance for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then a 30% chance on Thursday. Frontal boundary comes in Thursday night into Friday morning. I think Friday will go from mid-80s to lower 80s, and a pretty decent chance of thunderstorms Thursday night into early Friday morning once again. So that's the way I see it. If you're doing anything this Fiesta weekend, have fun. It's the last weekend of Fiesta, and again, watch it. Make sure and watch us at 10 o'clock coming up in a little bit. And I believe Maggie's going to be in all weekend, so make sure and watch her. We'll keep you updated on those thunderstorms if they do move in Saturday night and into early Sunday morning. All right, again, we really appreciate you streaming, and we'll see you later. Thanks so much.